Just out there, Greg. Stephen L. Dean here with Zion's Camp Builders. You rolling?
I'm rolling.
Good. This is the 10-acre spot, everybody. The property that we want to get is way, way up high. You see the big pine trees up there? 180 acres up there. Tall pines, aspen trees, sagebrush, shrub oaks, abundant wildlife. There's a small lake, a pond, and there's springs. That's where we're going. But before we get there, we've got this 10-acre piece right here, okay? It's clear over here to the fence line. There's one tree. It goes over here. There's an old pond right here. It's dried up. And then it goes clear out over there to that road. So we have year-round access. That's the old Brigham Young private railroad right there. It's got good road base on it. Good gravel, year-round access right to there. We can bring in water on a trailer. You'll be able to get water right there until we put the well in. The Witcher came out, the douser, and she crossed the streams right here. She says, this is where it is. About 150 feet down, 40 gallons a minute. This is her estimate, okay? There's the well. We're going to do a gigantic mud dome, / greenhouse combination, dry pond area. We're going to have water. We're going to have wood off of the mountain. There's a big fire went through there about 10 years ago. There's abundant firewood. You're not going to have to go get it because we're going to bring it to you. You're just going to have to cut it into the right sizes that you want. We're going to have a firewood pile, water. We're going to have propane tanks for you to exchange out. We're going to have the sewer suck truck be able to come out here and handle any waste. This is a place for you to begin to establish your base camp in Zion. What are you going to call it? What's your theme? Are you going to raise goats, chickens? Are you going to raise horses? We can graze in this entire area. Huge amounts of grazing land, okay? Are you going to grow food, vegetables? What are you going to do? How are you going to contribute to Zion? Are you going to be the wood guy? Are you going to go get that wood and bring it down? Because we need the wood guy. Are you going to go get the water on the water tank? Because we need the water girl. Are you going to fill up the propane tanks when the propane trunk pulls up here? Are you going to make sure that happens? Now, if you can't come up with your $99 a month to be here, then we've got a job for you. So there's no excuses, okay? You can be the poop bucket guy if you want. Man, we got you covered. We're going to have different community building projects. We need the person that's going to manage the tool rental shed. Solar panels will be available. You can charge your phone, your laptop, so we will have electricity as well. We'll have battery-powered tools that you can rent out, borrow. You don't have to pay for it. You just borrow it and make sure it comes back. We need that person that's going to be in charge of the tool shed. There's a whole bunch of jobs, and right now, those jobs are up for grabs, whoever wants to be it. That will make your $99 a month payment. Now, if you would rather just pay cash, hey, we need that too, because we got to pay for the dumpster to be dropped here, and the garbage guy to be able to come out here and pick up the dumpster. So we do need cash. If you're good at making cash and you can contribute towards the cash element of it, that's great. If you can do work trade in other areas, that's fine. So like I said, no excuses. We're practically sitting here giving you a chunk of land. Come, bring your stake and pound your stake in Zion's base camp. And what are you going to do? How are you going to contribute? Here it is, you know. I was pushing it out on Facebook, and a bunch of people were saying, oh, this is a scam, this is not real, he's trying to create a cult. Well, you know what? Hey, we can use the name Zion too. It's just pure in heart, right, Greg?
That's right. That's all it is. And Jesus is the one who will purify us And so you come here and you work together. You learn to work together.
Let me take over the camera.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody, this is Greg Muller.
Greg Muller. And yeah, so Jesus is my best friend, and been hanging with him real heavy since 2015. I'm a born-again member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and he told me we're going to start building Zion out in the open. Zion's coming out of the closet, because most people would recognize we've always been building, and God has great works going on that aren't recognized as Zion, but that's what this is, and we're unashamedly doing it. We're not doing it, it's non-denominational. We don't care what your denomination is. We have a really good friend who's an atheist, and God works through him too. He's a good guy, and so we are trying to do what you do in America, is love one another. And so Zion's really expression of America and the American spirit. And so come out here and get to know us. And the investment isn't much. You could come do this for a few months. You say, no, this isn't working for me. You go. You don't have to. The risks are so low. And that's where both Steve and I are being led, is Jesus says, I'm found in the mud. Now, he's found up high too, but he's found in the mud. And so a lot of this area is kind of dusty. You'll notice that. But so is Jerusalem. So is Israel. And this is not a bad place. I could get in my car and I'd just drive that way 40 minutes. There I am at Costco. But what this is a place to give your heart relief from some of what has been created in Babylon. And so Babylon's going to fall. So that's the one thing that is of interest to a lot of people who are viewing this. They've already been told. I know, I've never talked to one person yet who doesn't know that our economy is going to fall. I'll say, hey, do you know this? Is God telling you this? Everyone knows that. And so billionaires have what's called bug out bags and bug out places. So they've got places in Australia. They've got places in other parts, and they've got them here in Utah as well, and they've got places to go when riots happen, or when they just lose a job and they can't afford their mortgage. They've got a place to go. Well, God's going to do that also for the people who are very low, and that's what this is. So that's all we can do, is invite you to Zion, and I've been invited. I've been living with family, so we've been doing this for about 7-8 years. And Stephen has been running with people who he's treating like family. And that's what will happen here, is it'll be people who come together, and it's familyism, not socialism, but familyism. It's what we're familiar with. You get with a bunch of people that you were born with, or like I had a combined family, and you treat them like family while you're growing up. And that's what we're going to do here. And it's possible, because God makes that possible. And it takes patience, but mostly it just takes hope. You go like, you have hope that there is a God and that he has a plan. And that's, so if you feel called, because that's what we're actually counting on, is God to call people here in their heart. And I feel called to this. And so I've got many different camps that I'm part of, and we're building, and they're kind of in this state. They're in a low state of development, but the idea is 20 years from now, there'll be thriving communities, there'll be alternative, there'll be many different kinds, some up in the mountains. And so I'm a Zion fitter. It's like an outfitter. That's what Stephen is as well.
I noticed your shirt here.
Oh, yeah.
Open source Zion.
Open source Zion. So that's the non-denominational. So that's my stake in Zion. So God drove a stake through my heart. It's one of the stakes. And he writes on my clothes using my hand. I do have to admit that he uses my hand to do it. But this was just recently. So open source Zion, Oz, is what I refer to my particular stake in Zion. And so that's the stake I'll put here. At these dry locations, I'll be putting stakes, say, yeah, I'm going to build a little thing here. And then I'll have places, and I'll let people sleep in my place. It might be a mud hut in some places. It might be a metal place. It might be wood. It might be a trailer. And I'm doing this with people right now. There's a place called Buck, Zion, and it's a dry desert place, and I'm assisting as a Zion fitter, assisting that person, making sure they've got electricity, water, food, clothing, shelter, tools, somebody to love. That's what Scripture. You go to the Scriptures, that's what God promises. Food, clothing, shelter, tools, somebody to love. And so that's what I'm trying to help this person I'm helping. That's the main thing. I said, this is what we're trying to get you. Then you have peace in Christ. However she finds that. I said it could be the Great Spirit, it can be the breath, whatever have you, but we're trying to find a peaceful way to live, cohabit with other people. And so far it's been very interesting and good for my heart to reach out, because I already have that. I have a base camp that's built up we built for years. And that's what I'll do, is like this place will continue to be built up until it's a very intricate base camp, and it'll spread and have many more base camps. So the idea is you have a base camp, and then you foray to help other people who are close by, see what you can do to help their lives. That's what we're doing.
All right, Greg. Hey, I appreciate that. Okay, so no, stay in here with me.
All right.
So there it is, people. It's real. I know on social media it's like, well, is this real? What's going on? No, it's real. We've invited you out, and we'll have more potlucks, more meet and greet and eats, and we'll come out here and you can pick the spot you want. 10 acres is, fairly small, but it's big enough to get started, and there's more land available. Once we get this established, we can buy another 10 acres right next door here, and we're going to work our way up the mountain. We already have just over a 1 acre lot up there that'll be a special place, and that's yours too. This is your place, and we're going to work our way up the mountain.
As we make more places, they become part of your place. It's like you're joining a club, and you're going to see, if you come hang out with us, we're not going to cubbyhole you into any kind of religious practice or anything like that. We'll take you how you are, because that's how Zion is. We're taking this land how it is. We're not saying, oh, this needs to be like Thailand. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, look at this. So we got some thistles, and we got some flowers, so it's like,
and we appreciate it.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
We're just looking for good people.
Pioneers, really, if you want to think of yourself as, that's what kind of we've been referring to it as. Really, we're just going to recreate the pioneering experience. Pioneers came to this same kind of land, and you go check out what they built up. You can check that out at the museums and whatever. You can check it out online. We're just going to do that again, and we won't involve the banks. That's the difference. Is the beast, the banks. You call them what you want. They act like beasts. That's out of here, because those are going to fail. Otherwise we'd say plug into that. That's going to work for you. But once again, it's not.
We talked about a $99 lease. That gives you a place to begin building your Zion's camp. Now, after a while, you're actually going to be building equity in this land and that other spot, other pieces of land. So I know it may be hard to believe, but come on out and meet us, and you'll see that it's real. We want you out here. Bring your stake, drive it in the ground, and the pond is awesome. It's a dry pond, but hey, we've gone on long enough now. You get the idea. We'll talk to you again soon.
We're available online if you want to discuss it. The risks are so low. Just pick up the phone, messages, plan to come over, hang out with us. What, a couple hours of your time you don't have that? Well, then you're probably sitting pretty in Babylon. And
that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need this. But there's some people whose hearts are like, I want to be out where there's fewer people. I want to be where the wind's blowing and it's
quiet
sunny
out here, and where you can ride your four-wheeler and your motorcycle, and you can raise some animals. You can do what you want out here.
And I don't have a whole bunch of money that I can do it like my neighbors. I just have a little bit of money. Well, come do it, Just park your camper here, or if you don't have a camper, we'll get you one. We'll build you something.
Yeah.
All right?
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon. Talk to you later.
Absolutely. God bless.